Hey there, RPGs of YouTube and beyond. It's Rhaegar here again for another video. Today I want to talk about campaigns. You know, those epic game sessions we love to get involved in, but not campaigns as we usually talk about, like campaigns you run, campaigns you like to run, campaigns that you're planning. What I want to talk about today is what I like to call the campaign graveyard. And these are campaigns that just never really got their chance. Campaigns that either players just weren't interested in at the time, or just campaigns that you just weren't able to get enough people for when you were trying to get it going, or you had a really good idea but no one seemed to understand what you're trying to do, that kind of thing. I'm asking for people out there who are listening or watching to talk about the games that never got their moment. Tell me about them. What campaigns did you want to run but never got the chance? Because I think there's some interesting ideas probably there. Things we could share. I always like a good idea I can steal. I would really like to hear what campaigns didn't make the cut. Why and why that was. For instance, my very first campaign, the one I was going to run. I am running a game now, but it's not what I wanted to run. In the very beginning, I wanted to run a Vampire Masquerade campaign. I had a bunch of players ready. They wanted to play, but I could never get them together for long enough to get it going, to get it sorted. I had this whole campaign pitch, and I said to them, they seemed interested in it, and it just never got off the ground, and it sucked, man, because I was really jazzed for it. The whole idea of the campaign, to give you some details, because what I'm not sharing, is I wanted to do a Vampire Masquerade campaign. This is for people who'd never played a World of Darkness game. I was their main, I was their gentleman gamer of their group. I was the vampire guy. Unfortunately, I'm not as knowledgeable as the gent himself, but I'm learning. But yeah, I wanted to run a Vampire Masquerade campaign, and it was going to be set in a city that we were going to construct ourselves, so it had a lot of ideas in there. I threw off some of the vampire factions in there. It's going to be a Camarilla game. Funny how I started making cities before I even started playing Fate. Cooperative storytelling already in there before I even knew what it was. But yeah, it was going to be all about the Caitiff. I hope I'm saying that right. The Caitiff, the clanless. The main sort of pitch of the campaign is that someone was staring at the Caitiff, bringing them together, organising them, training them, getting them, turning them into a mini little faction themselves, and the Camarilla. The vampires running the Camarilla in the city were not very happy with this at all, of course. And they were going to bring the players in to go and find the people who were running it, to try and investigate it. That could have been going undercover, that could have been tracking them down in a more direct route, it's more like a police force type thing, and to try and figure out who was behind it. Because the thing about vampires, and some people, I don't think, realise this, that vampires hold grudges for millennia, So, what the Camarilla wanted to know, people, NPC, I don't have the NPC list, that's why I'm sort of make it a little bit vague in the NPC, so they were trying to figure out, was this something new, was this a new threat? Or was this some kind of vampire trying to get even, trying to take over a city? Was it someone within the Camarilla themselves? What was their angle, what was going on? And I felt this was a really good way to bring new players in, because you can see the old establishment of the Camarilla as them trying to maintain their power base, and the players can decide whether to use the opportunity to rise up the ranks and helping them, or they could have gone over to help the clanless and seen them as a new faction, as a faction not tied to a clan but unified under one goal. Whatever that goal was, they would have to find out. Probably the destruction of the Camarilla. It's vampire. Vampires like to take things out on other vampires. The thing I can never really, when I was making, the thing I can never really nail down was how the Sabbat, kind of fed into this campaign. Were they going to be helping the clans? Were they going to be supporting the Camarilla? And kind of like, well, I hear these guys are worse than the Camarilla, so I'm gonna reluctantly help them, or are they just gonna stay out of it? That's the kind of thing I was always thinking of. I never chance to get it going and find out and get running. And I was really looking forward to it because there's some really interesting player characters that the guys have come up with. You know, sometimes not knowing anything about the background of the setting can really free someone just to come up with something unique. You know, because you don't feel tied to the canon of the story. So there was some really interesting stuff in there, but never came to pass. One day I may revisit it, but now that I've got both Werewolf and hopefully Mage this year, I'm part of the Kickstarter, I'll be able to bring in elements from them as well. Probably not like a crossover game, but be able to bring in some of the organisations and possibly, like some of the lore from other places to try and round it all out. Okay, nice. So yeah, that's me rambling on again about a campaign that I almost got to run. What were yours? This has been Rhaegar. Until next time, guys.